Hello, I'm Lara Kulchersen and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. In just a few hours, this story has generated more than 1 million posts on X. The American broadcasting company has suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely after the late-night host's comments about the killing of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk. Disney-owned ABC says the talk show will be removed from its schedule for the foreseeable future. It's been on air since 2003.
Many in MAGA land are working very hard to capitalize on the murder of Charlie Kirk.
While our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
Right. And by statistical fact, he means complete is what he means.
ABC pulled the show after the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, threatened regulatory action. US President Donald Trump has backed the watchdog's stance and even suggested that some television networks should have their licenses revoked. He praised the decision on his Truth Social as well, calling it great news for America and applauding ABC's courage. Free speech advocates have condemned the move, saying it blurs the line between accountability and censorship. Online, the wider discussion has quickly shifted to questions of cancel culture, the limits of satire, and whether the US Constitution protects people who voice political beliefs on social media.
A news anchor calling for the lethal injection of homeless people just for existing, being homeless. Totally fine, just an apology, free speech, right? But Jimmy Kimmel pointing out the theatrics involved with the whole Charlie Kirk debacle is hate speech, and he gets fired and canceled over it. The truth is, they do not believe in free speech. They believe in saying what they want without consequences while suppressing the voice of others.
Well, this is basically cancel culture run wild, and recently people have been used to cancel culture coming from the left, and now the right has embraced cancel culture with great gusto after having complained about it for years. Your employer can fire you for any reason they like, unless it's a specific prohibited ground like race or sex. But your political beliefs or the views that you expressed on social media, in almost all places in the United States, your political views are not protected, and you could be fired for that.
We are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage, again, I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community.
After Kirk's assassination, the governor of Utah urged Americans to turn down the political temperature and simply log off. But few believe that will happen.
Donald J. Trump has created more division in the United States of America than any other president in our history. After what happened to Charlie Kirk, instead of taking that moment to spread a message of unity and peace, Trump called out his opposition party, the radical left, as he likes to call it. He should have taken that moment to be a true leader and tried to unite people and bring them together to put a stop once and for all to all political violence. Because political extremism on both sides, will be the fall of the United States of America, and I believe we are very dangerously close to that.
Online, the cycle is supercharged. The louder and more extreme the rhetoric, the more clicks, likes, and advertising dollars it generates. And increasingly, that outrage spills over into real-world violence. That's why Discord, Reddit, Twitch, and Valve CEOs have been called to testify before Congress on October 8, facing questions over how their platforms may fuel radicalization. The accused shooter in Kirk's killing, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, is suspected of being influenced by extremist communities online. Bullet casings at the scene carried meme-laden inscriptions, blending irony and ideology in a way that investigators say reflects the toxic culture of digital extremism.
Those against. The draft resolution has not been adopted, owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
That was the United States voting alone, 14-1, blocking a United Nations Security Council resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. It comes days after the UN called Israel's atrocities in Gaza a genocide, and amid reports of famine spreading through the enclave, alongside an escalation of Israeli aggression in the Strip.
Israel's impunity is fueling its folly. Shielding it is allowing it to persist on a horrific path that will never lead to peace or security. Millions of people in the streets are demanding from you to use Chapter 7 in order to impose your will through whatever tools available to you to force Israel to stop this genocide against the Palestinian people.
As bombs rain down on Gaza and Israeli tanks close in on Gaza City, desperate Palestinians are trying to get out. Since the assault started, even designated corridors have not been safe, with some fleeing Gazans being killed by Israeli strikes. The escape is not only difficult, as many are making the journey on foot, it's also expensive and terribly risky, with no guarantees about how long the safe refuge they are seeking can be called home.
Why did it become like this? To this extent, our blood is this cheap, or do our words mean nothing? These tears are coming from a man who's crying. We cry for our children, for our women, for our uncles, for everyone in our lives. They speak about humanity, but it doesn't apply to us. We in Gaza don't want our cause, because there is no cause other than humanity. Nothing is offered to us in a humanitarian sense. Everything is offered to us is crime and stripping of dignity. We have no more energy to keep going. I swear to God, I cannot even stand.
The wave of public anger over corruption and the display of lavish lifestyles by politicians and their families on social media has gripped Southeast Asian nations, including the Philippines. The capital, Manila, has experienced a series of protests in recent weeks. The misuse of flood control funds has fueled the latest tensions. Ghost projects and the loss of up to $9 billion have been linked to construction tycoons and corrupt legislators. 15 companies are now under scrutiny, including one owned by Pacifico and Sara Diskaya, a wealthy couple whose presence online has fueled outrage due to their extravagant spending habits.
Her and her husband, Curly, own or have owned 9 different construction companies throughout the years. They first began taking on flood control projects back in 2016, and in recent years, under the Marcos administration, they've raked in over $500 million USD from flood control alone. The couple is dubbed the king and queen of flood control, and they've been under intense scrutiny. They were testifying to the Senate a couple of days ago. Why? Well, it's because of what I've been talking about, these ghost flood control projects that have seemingly produced no actual work. And it gets spicier because in that Senate hearing, these two claimed that they were forced to pay politicians or get no contracts at all. It's come to light through all this that these two were featured on a YouTube video last year where they were showing off their luxury car collection. And because of this random video, now they're getting their cars seized. 28 of their luxury cars out of at least 40 have been seized and are being inspected to make sure that they were purchased through legitimate means. So the citizens of the Philippines are big mad. About a week ago, they had demonstrations outside the headquarters of one of the companies owned by Sarah and Curly, and it was not super peaceful. And obviously all the commotion is not just focused on these two. I've seen signs about Zaldico, who I've talked about before. This goes a lot deeper than just 1 or 2 construction moguls.
Infuriated Filipinos have not spared the so-called Nepo babies. That is, people whose success is built on family connections. Their online profiles are being scrutinized. Posts of lavish lifestyles, luxury cars, designer wear, and fancy holidays are being compared to images from the devastating floods that affected millions.
Did you guys see this? Filipinos are going after the children of corrupt politicians and business owners that got millions of dollars worth of taxpayer money go into these flooding projects that are basically non-existent. But what is existent is their kids all over social media flaunting their wealth that they got from, I don't know, you make the call. It's giving that time that the Marcoses didn't know what to do with all of this money and decided to buy African animals and ship them to the Philippines. Like, you guys didn't think that the internet would catch on as to where the millions of dollars worth of money was supposed to go to when the Philippines is underwater and your kids are flaunting their Chanel bags online. Like, the Philippines looks like this right now. They're flaunting their wealth. And because everyone's going after them, half of them are like deleting their social media accounts and everything.
The spirit of protest is spreading across the region. East Timor has scrapped a plan to give its lawmakers free luxury cars after demonstrations swept through the capital Dili this week. Led mostly by Gen Z, they objected because ordinary people are suffering as the nation struggles with inequality and unemployment. Demonstrations started off as peaceful, placard-carrying protests, but quickly escalated into clashes with police as activists set fire to government vehicles. Their demands also grew, including a call to cancel lifetime pensions for retired lawmakers. While the government has conceded, critics remain skeptical they will make good on their promises. Every now and then, out of a crisis, a meme, a trend, or a standout person emerges. This time, it's a British travel vlogger who captured Nepal's Gen Z protests. His raw, unfiltered footage has gone viral, racking up millions of views online. Harry, a traveler behind the YouTube channel We Hate the Cold, is best known for motorbike vlogs, not politics. But his footage from the streets of Kathmandu has turned him into what some are calling an accidental conflict reporter. Blending his own narration with voices from the crowd, Harry's work was hailed as rare ground-level footage from a city under curfew. He had been riding from Thailand to the UK on his bike, documenting the journey for his followers.
I can't quite believe what I'm witnessing right now. Tensions are high.
Directly to the head, yeah.
Sorry, what? 20 people got shot. Gunshots in the air. Oh, he's just put off some tear gas over this way. My eyes are watering. You can feel it going up your nose. The whole building is burned through. But the scenes I've witnessed here today, I have truly witnessed history on a stupid trip from Thailand to England, and all of the people celebrating.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.